Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to scenic Van Nuys, California for Pro Wrestling Guerrillas All-Star Weekend number 6. Now, before I get started, I have to remind you that All-Star Weekend 6 is a co-production between the offices of Food and Beverage, commissioned by myself, and the offices of Professional Wrestling, commissioned by Dino Winwood. Dino Winwood, who is nowhere to be found. I know, it's intriguing. But I know where Dino Winwood is.
Where is he?
Dino Winwood is by the side of the road somewhere. Because he was in a very serious car accident tonight. And I hate to smile. No. I love to smile at the fact that Dino Winwood was in a serious car accident. Because it means one thing, and one thing only.
Who's running the show?
Exactly, my friend. Tonight, I'm in charge! And tonight, there's gonna be changes. First of all, Jack Evans and Roderick Strong both have had shots at the Pro Wrestling Guerrilla World Championship. Jack Evans and Roderick Strong both were defeated by champion Bryan Danielson. And tonight, they were scheduled to have a match that would decide who faces the champion tomorrow night. But that is no more. Because you see, a single match between these two men proves who's the better man tonight. But a best of 3 series proves who is the better man, period. So tonight, tomorrow, and January 27th, if need be, Roderick Strong and Jack Evans will have a best of 3 series to determine the #1 contender for the Pro Wrestling Guerrilla World Championship. And much like Dino Winwood had some car trouble tonight, our Japanese friends, Shima and Susumu Yokosuka, members of Typhoon in Dragon Gate, were caught off guard by this typhoon here in Southern California. They veered off the road, they mowed down a stop sign, they very nearly struck a baby in a stroller. And all of this caused them to be late to the show. And so Shima and Susumu, rather than bring you out here and excoriate you here in the center of the ring, verbal tongue lashing, dress you down, that kind of thing. Rather than do that, my Japanese friends, I have something else in mind. Susumu Yokosuka and Shima, tonight, you two, stablemates, will face one another here tonight at All-Star Weekend 6. But where does that leave Super Dragon, as my friend in the front row just said?
What about the American Dragon?
Super Dragon, he came to me backstage. He very level-headedly requested. Actually, he slapped me across the face until I changed his match tonight. So instead of facing Susumu Yokosuka, Super Dragon, under the penalty of more slaps to myself, has the night off. Pain! If you want to be slapped by him, please form a line. But if Susumu Yokosuka and CIMA and Super Dragon and Jack Evans and Roderick Strong have all these changes to their matches, where does that leave Pro Wrestling Guerrilla World Champion, American Dragon, Bryan Danielson? Well, rather than do it behind his back, I would like the world champion to join me here in the ring so I can tell him face to face. You were supposed to face CIMA tonight, but you were also supposed to be in the 2007 Battle of Los Angeles, which you weren't, and you disappointed each and every one of these fans. And I know for a fact that lady right there went home and cried. She bawled her eyes out because you did not compete.
Good job, Greg.
And Bryan Danielson, registered libertarian, supporter of Ron Paul. I don't know that for a fact, but these are things I heard. Tonight, rather than have a rematch with CIMA, I'm offering you Johnny Ian, you the cameraman, and you the fans of Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, a match that has never, ever occurred in a Pro Wrestling Guerrilla ring before. In a match of untold magnitudes. A match that will shake this promotion to its very core. And Bryan Danielson, American Dragon, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla World Champion. It is a match that is going to occur right now!
Hey everybody, what an explosive way to start off Pro Wrestling Guerrilla's All-Star Weekend 6 right off the bat with the PWG World Championship title match. And Bryce Remsburg, I know you are as shocked as I am by the competitor that will face American Dragon Bryan Danielson, the PWG World Champion.
Yeah, but it seems like you knew about this a little before everyone else did, Excalibur, wearing your big boy pants, stepping up to the plate.
Indeed.
Being a big shot.
Dino Winwood in a very serious car accident. I know he was in stable condition earlier in the evening at Cedar Sinai Hospital, but he was out of the picture, so I had to take matters into my own hands. And let me tell you guys, this is not something that I just happened to pull out. Low-key wasn't cruising around the Van Nuys area. This had to be set up weeks in advance.
With his wrist taped.
Yeah, I don't know how he rolls in Brooklyn.
Right.
But that's not how Bed-Stuy. That's not how he happens to roll in Southern California. So this was set up weeks in advance, and I must say that Dino Winwood's car accident may not have been completely accidental.
Oh wow! So it's not really a car accident.
No, it was a car on purpose.
But anyway, American Dragon Bryan Danielson never one to step down from a challenge. I think we know. So I mean, he's ready and willing to get up to the plate and be a fighting champion for all the PWG fans last weekend.
He is indeed, and that is one of the great hallmarks of his reign is that he has stepped up to the plate under adversity. That's how his title reign began at PWG's Giant Size and Unhole 4, our 4th anniversary show. After facing Necro Butcher earlier on in the evening, Bryan Danielson then went on to face El Generico, then the PWG World Champion, and defeated El Generico and won the title. So I mean, this is just another another chapter in the book of Bryan Danielson's title reign, and hopefully for Danielson that it's a successful one after tonight.
Yes, and he calls himself the best in the world, and what kind of best in the world guy would back down from an old nemesis of his in low key?
Indeed, and he was Bryan Danielson was preparing for CIMA. He was preparing for either Jack Evans or Roderick Strong But now all of that goes out the window as Danielson faces Low-Ki, and you can see these two tentatively squaring off here in the center of the ring. It's been some time since these two have faced one another in the ring. And, both men have grown as wrestlers, they've matured as wrestlers, and they've changed certain aspects of their game and their game plan. So there definitely will be a feeling out process, as you're seeing right now.
Sure. But they still know each other very well. They haven't forgotten the battles. Predominantly on the East Coast, but as you said earlier, first time in PWG meeting, right off the bat here, World Championship match in the main event. The first match tonight.
It's like
it's
the
usually
main
event.
It's the Bizarro World main event.
Yes, that's what kind of All-Star Weekend we have on our hands here.
And so Low-Ki and Bryan Danielson starting off the PWG's All-Star Weekend 6, and we have also got some more in store for you later on tonight. But right now, let's turn our focus back into the ring.
Don't think you're watching the DVD in reverse or something.
That's true.
That's how it was. It went.
Low-Ki with a clean break. They show sportsmanship here by the challenger. Bryan Danielson, I think, was a bit surprised by that. I think he may have expected Low-Ki to take advantage of that opportunity.
Absolutely. And now Danielson sweeping the leg. As you said, a great feeling out process. Just seeing what each other's got. They haven't exactly been in the same promotions or crossed paths often very recently, but that doesn't put away the battles they've had.
Bryce, you have to mention that Danielson did not sweep the leg.
He did not.
That is why Kreese kicked him out of the Cobra Kai dojo. And so I don't know that Kreese kicked him out, but he asked Miyagi to tell him about sweeping.
He's not welcome.
That's right. And so now Low-Ki, I believe, remember the Low-Ki dojo,
Yes.
which is like the Cobra Kai dojo, except slightly different.
Yes.
They are.
There's no rest.
That's right.
No rest.
So no rest, no relaxation, and no Eddie Kingston snoring in the back.
How about that?
Yeah, we're actually we're in the scenic Airtel Plaza Hotel recording this commentary track. Eddie Kingston sleeping in the bed behind us.
Nothing but the best.
That's right. And nothing but the best for Low-Ki as he reversed that submission hold by Bryan Danielson into a hold of his own. He's got Danielson's legs all tied up, and now spinning Danielson over on top. He's got his arms butterflied, and now just cranking forward on the neck as he pulls the legs of Bryan Danielson away from his body. This is a very, very bad predicament for Danielson to be in this early on in the match.
Quite precarious. Key had the only free leg there, and he used it to his advantage to spin over and turn Danielson up, and now, wait a second, thinking about striking him square in the face.
Low-Ki in a top mount, but Danielson using his legs to pull Low-Ki back down to the mat, but Low-Ki rolling over and blocking it, and now Danielson, he's gotten one leg hooked, but Low-Ki back up to a semi-vertical base into a pinning predicament, but only getting a 2 count, says referee Bryce Remsburg. Acting senior official, Bryce Remsburg.
Studley as always.
Now Low-Ki, again with the legs, goes for a side headlock. And now Danielson pulls him into a pinning predicament, only a 1 count. And Low-Ki back to the seated position. And now Danielson bringing him up to the ropes. Low-Ki with his back against the ropes, his arms over.
Not a clean break.
Almost a clean break.
The thing about these two guys, they're so dangerous that we've seen them all win matches with pinfalls, we've seen them all win matches with submissions. And both of them have hallmark moves that are able to put you away. Either way, so that's how you win titles, and only win titles. So that's both that they're going to be looking to do. But I think it's going to take more than a little bit of this funny business in the beginning to pin or to submit either Low-Ki or Bryan Danielson.
I think that could have been Bryan Danielson sending a message to Low-Ki. Danielson ducking out of the way. He does not want to get into a striking exchange with Low-Ki, and that is one of Low-Ki's trademarks. Is his kicks, is his strikes, and so I think Danielson knows that hasn't changed over time, and so that is something that he's going to be wary of, and something he's going to want to avoid throughout the progression of this match.
Yeah, I can't say I blame Bryan Danielson there for sticking his head between the ropes.
Oh, now with a front chancery, cranking back on the neck of Low-Ki as Low-Ki's got him against the ropes. Bryce Remsburg makes an unenviable task. Coming between them. Oh! Low-Ki breaking away and hitting a chop to the chest of Bryan Danielson. And you know what, Bryce? I think that would be the first to know.
Yes. And it should be noted that Danielson was the first guy to not break clean. Low-Ki actually just kind of retorting there. But still, staying within the confines of the rules, sort of. But sending a message more than anything.
Yeah, I think the message is loud and clear that Bryan Danielson is going to bend the rules as far as possible without breaking them to hold on to this PWG World Championships. And I think that's something that Low-Ki either going to have to factor into his game plan, or he's going to have to start doing the same back to Danielson. Bridging suplex. Danielson goes up and over the top. Loki had him in. I thought Loki had him in a guillotine or a French chancery, but instead Danielson, he's got Loki in a.
He's got the arm trap though as well.
It's an arm triangle hold, and so he's trying to choke out Loki. Well, not choke him out, but he's trying to cut off the blood flow to his head by capturing that left arm of Loki along with his head. But Bryce Remsburg telling Danielson to break it up as he's, I believe, breaking the eyes.
He was pulling his ear or something like that.
Low-key.
Now he's pulling his ear.
Loki getting a bit of the Vander Holyfield treatment.
Yeah.
Almost. And now, Bryan Danielson, he has to fight. He is familiar with the rules of professional wrestling. I don't know if you will. But Loki, not taking kindly to it, and chopping the chest of Bryan Danielson.
Go to post.
Danielson trying to escape, but low-key relentless. Just not willing to give Danielson an inch of breathing room as he's got the boot on the throat of Danielson, and Loki using some intimidation tactics of his own.
He said he has till 5 as well.
And now Loki with the snapmare going off the rope, flashing elbow, driving his elbow, pointing his elbow straight to the chest of the PWG World Champion.
No height, no finesse, all impact on that one, right down across the chest. And what an impact Loki can make in his return to PWG in the opening match to win the World Championship. All be the talk of the town here in Grand Rapids.
What an incredible feat that would be, and Loki with the body scissors applied is looking to do exactly that.
He knows, I believe.
Oh, now returning in kind again. This seems to be Bryan Danielson dictating the pace, and then Loki following suit. It's like he does what Danielson does back to it, but except he steps it up just a little bit more.
And he lets him do it first, so Danielson in a way is digging his own grave.
Indeed, but now Danielson trying to get struggling up to a vertical base as Loki's got the body scissors applied. You can see how he's squeezing on the ribs of Danielson, and but Danielson able to get up, and he could be going for the Inigo Montoya Andre the Giant, or no, the Wesley Andre the Giant move from the Princess Bride. But Loki bringing him back down to the mat. He's got the arms wrapped around the head, cutting off the blood flow to the brain of Bryan Danielson, along with cutting off the oxygen to the lungs by squeezing the ribs. And Danielson is in a very, very bad situation here.
Yeah, very smart by Keto, because all of his limbs were off the ground, and he don't have much control. So he brought Danielson down and tried to, I believe, the carotid artery, as Gorilla Monsoon would say.
Indeed.
Cut that off, and it's lights out city.
Now Loki ramming his shoulder into the midsection of Bryan Danielson after he was just squeezing on him with those powerful legs of his.
Shooting the air up into his chest now.
And Loki is really punishing the champion here early on in this matchup.
Textbook scoop slam right into a cover.
Only getting a 2 count or maybe even a 1 count as Bryan Danielson trying to escape from Loki. I know Danielson knows he has to catch his breath, and there we see Danielson does sweep the leg.
Yep. Maybe instinctively there, backs away and then drops the head.
Now we see the ear going after the ear of Bryan Danielson is low key. And Joey Ryan and I once had a match where we went after one another's ears.
Really?
Well, actually, I went after his ear.
It's very interesting.
Tried to go after my ear. And actually, I think my most devious strategy was I placed his head next to the speaker and shouted into the microphone. And so I think that.
What world title was that for?
That was not for any world title. That was for the pride of Tupelo, Mississippi.
And hearing power for the next day.
That's right. Joey Ryan, he later confessed to me that he was unable to hear out of his left ear for 3 weeks.
That's a moral victory.
Yeah. And so now Loki wrenching back on the arm of Danielson. You can see Danielson with his knees and one elbow on the ground as Loki was standing on top of him. And now Loki pulls him in.
Sets him on the top rope. You might have done Joey a favor because he listens to some pretty crappy music.
Oh, he does. Jimmy Eat World? More like Jimmy Eat Crap. But now Danielson out on the apron after getting his midsection caught up on the top rope and then getting kicked in the midsection by Loki, and Loki placing his shoulder into the breadbasket of Bryan Danielson, knocking him off the apron, and Danielson on the outside. This is not a position we're used to seeing the PWG World Champion in.
No, absolutely not. However, you can't win titles on the floor. We can wear him down out here and show the fans what you got. A pinfall or submission is to occur in the ring.
Bryan Danielson pulling Loki into the European uppercut. Hitting with the second one. Loki with a chop though, right in front of the fans at ringside. And this is why that extra $5 for a ringside ticket is worth it.
Absolutely, especially getting early and getting the front row. It's a right here.
So Loki is battling around on the floor, trading European uppercuts and those hard knife-edge chops. And Loki staggered by that last one. And Danielson clearing the fans out of the way. Hits Loki with another European uppercut. Loki into the first, second, and third row after he was knocked back by Bryan Danielson.
Danielson taking a second to soak in the lack of adulation by from Van Nuys Armory. He can't take his eyes off the ball. If there's one guy you don't want to give an inch in a wrestling match, it's Loki.
Indeed it is. And this is a tough match for the fans to watch because Bryan Danielson is a fan favorite champion. But
jeez, you could break an arm that way.
Danielson stepping on the upper arm bone of Loki. I'm sure that has a name, but I don't know what it is.
Tricep.
Is it tricep bone?
That's it.
Yeah.
But it forces your wrist and your hand and your forearm into the canvas.
And it can separate the shoulder from the socket.
Easy.
And Danielson doing it once again, stomping on the tricep, but continuing to punish that left arm of Loki. And Bryan Danielson, as I was saying, the fans haven't seen Loki in a while, but he definitely is a fan favorite. But Bryan Danielson, the fighting champion, and the fans here at PWG love to see him, so they are split 50-50 as to who they're rooting for in this match.
Who their world champion will be at the end of this match. Very high stakes, big implications for the future.
Danielson with the key lock bringing Loki over, and now grinding the point of his elbow into the ribcage of Loki, returning a little bit of punishment to the midsection that he received earlier.
When Loki does a key lock, it's just called a knee lock.
I see.
But for Danielson, it would be a key lock.
That's why Bryce Russell is on commentary, because he brings the fun. Now Danielson stretching back on the arm of Loki, and you can see he's got the fingers of Loki captured along with the wrist as he's pulling Loki's fingers and hand towards him as he's trying to push away with his midsection on the shoulder, just for causing further separation on that arm.
I'm not sure, but that might be Loki's chopping hand as well, which is a very sound strategy by Bryan Danielson.
Loki, much like Roderick Strong, known and feared for his chops, and so now Danielson, he's got Loki captured. Oh my God!
Not exactly surfing weather.
This is horrible. I don't know what this is, but Bryan Danielson, he is just punishing Loki here in the center of the ring. And Loki, maybe out of a sense of self-preservation, would be well advised to give up the fight, give up the pursuit of the PWG World Championship. But he gets his arm out from under him and breaks up Danielson's submission hold. And then Bryan Danielson is taking the fight right back to Loki.
These guys, two of the guys with maybe the best bridges in professional wrestling as well. Incredible neck strength, way up on their toes there. Even with that potentially separated shoulder of Loki, still able to avert the pin, knows where he's at, knows he can't have his shoulders on the mat for 3 seconds. Back to a submission attack now, I believe, by Danielson, swinging him around so his feet are even farther away from the ropes. Sound ring positioning.
Now, Bryan Danielson is just really cranking on the neck, the arms of Loki, concentrating on the upper body, and we talked about the sound strategy of Bryan Danielson. He is the best in the world. This is exactly why, because he knows Loki likes to hit those strikes with his arms, those high impact moves, and those submission moves. A lot of moves that require the vice-like grip of Loki, the anaconda strength of Loki, and if his arms are disabled or even injured, he may not be able to apply those moves with their full force, and that could give Danielson exactly the opportunity that he needs to hold on to the PWG World Championship.
Absolutely. Now wrenching that tricep bone down across the shoulder, and another stomp.
We really need to have a medical textbook here because I'm sure it's not.
Perhaps a PA student or something.
I'm sure it's not the tricep bone, but whatever it is, Bryan Danielson is really working it over for Loki.
I bet it hurts.
Indeed it does. And now Bryan Danielson,
scientific textbook irate,
bringing things down to the basest of levels, raking the eyes with his thumbs, trying to gouge the eyes out of Loki.
The great equalizer, as it were.
Indeed, no matter how much you work out your arms, your legs, your chest, you can't work out your eyes, and that's what Loki is finding out. His body is a temple, but the eyes are.
You can stare at those IE charts all day. It doesn't do anything. The eyes, in fact, are the groin of the head.
Quite they are, as Loki is finding out the hard way right now. Danielson continues the attack as he traps Loki in the corner, slapping him across the face. And I'm not sure that's what you want to do to
insult to injury.
A challenger like Loki. I mean, a blatant show of disrespect is not something that Loki would take kindly to, but he could be in such a position, he could have endured so much punishment thus far that he can't really fight back from those signs of disrespect.
Actually, he could be awakening a sleeping warrior as well.
Front chancery suplex, taking Loki over the top shades of Satoru Sayama, the Tiger Mask, the original Tiger Mask, and I guess that would make Loki Dynamite Kid. Except Bryan Danielson going up to the top rope could be going for the diving headbutt like Dynamite Kid. And Bryan Danielson, like those two men all rolled into one. Comes off the top, diving headbutt, finds its mark on the shoulder of Loki, and now Danielson, he's got Loki. He's got him in the chicken wing, but Loki fighting up to a vertical base, trying everything to get over to the ropes. But Danielson trying to bring Loki down, but Loki knows that he is in trouble. He knows that he's not in a position.
He knows what comes next is that cattle mutilation, which Danielson's won a lot of matches with.
Loki charging Danielson back into the turnbuckle, but Danielson charging Loki forward into the turnbuckle, diving in, misses the elbow shot. Loki escapes out of the way. Oh, kick just leveled Bryan Danielson.
So much force behind that. Loki, not very tall, but incredible. Just spun on explosive right on the side of Danielson's head. And this is the opportunity. This is the least that Loki needs to get back in the game. You can see him trying to massage his own arm and shoulder, trying to get some feeling back in it so he can tough this one out, which I'm sure he would try to do.
Loki, you're exactly right. Such explosive speed and strength, coming out of nowhere with that rolling kick, catching Danielson right behind the ear with his heel. And you can see Danielson is dazed, feeling the effects of those chops as Loki backs him up to the ropes. Loki, holding his left arm to his side. It's almost like it's a dead arm. And so using his right hand to deliver those chops as he sends Danielson into the ropes. But Danielson, after the Irish whip reverse, and then wrench down on that arm, hits Loki with a European uppercut, and now staggers Loki.
No longer will Loki make fun of people's cerebral palsy. He knows how it feels.
Almost like the axe bomber from Loki.
Yeah.
Another one from Loki, and goes for the third. Danielson ducks, rolling soul butt to the midsection, and then the kick to the back of the head from Loki. Danielson up to his feet. Oh, coming off the ropes, the kick to the face. The diving Gamengiri, and now Loki with the cover, 2 count only as Danielson able to kick out.
Loki, that's one of his trademarks there. He's got to be asking himself what it's going to take to put this guy away, but he knows what it's going to take. He's been in the ring with Danielson before, and he's not going to let that world championship slip through his fingers easily.
You know, I'm not sure that these two men have been in the ring with so much on the line, the pride and prestige of the PWG World Championship, and also, as we always stress here, the trip to the pay window. As soon as you are the champion, your salary takes, I believe it's a 10 times multiplier.
1,000%.
Yeah, as the PWG World Champion, rolling back elbow to the chest of Danielson. Loki brings Danielson up and slams him down face first. 1, 2 count only. A very unorthodox move, but a very effective move from Loki.
Absolutely.
And Loki does know that along with being able to call yourself PWG World Champion, the pride and prestige and that pay increase that will put shirts on the backs of Loki fans worldwide. And so he uses that money to turn it into merchandise, and he makes another 10 times multiplier on the merchandise.
Wow.
So I mean this is big business for Loki as he is trying to squeeze the life out of Bryan Danielson. You can see almost like I guess it would be a body triangle,
which may or may not put him in a new tax bracket. But I feel the congratulatory call from Governor Schwarzenegger will make it all work.
Indeed, and with that pay increase, Loki could afford a new CPA. That's exactly what Bryan Danielson did when he became PWG World Champion. Butterfly suplex into a cross arm breaker. Loki is in very, very deep trouble here. He is in big trouble in Little Van Nuys, and Bryan Danielson now with the top mount raining down forearms and slaps to the head and face of Loki. Now swings back over into the cross arm breaker, but Loki, you can see with his fingers locked, trying to prevent Danielson from from stretching out that arm and shoulder. Gets his foot over the bottom rope, but Bryan Danielson doesn't break immediately, inflicting more and more punishment to that shoulder of Low-Ki.
The ropes, I believe, saved Low-Ki's bid for the PWG World Championship right there. That would have been it. Luckily, he was within distance of that for him, and now Danielson collecting his thoughts, asking himself what he's got to do to put this guy away, but I'm sure he's got a few more tricks up his
Danielson coming off the ropes with a dropkick, sending Low-Ki to the outside. Low-Ki staggering into the laps of the fans here at ringside in the front row. And Bryan Danielson, you know he's plotting, you know he's conniving in the ring. Comes through, but Low-Ki cuts him off at the pass with the enziguri as Bryan Danielson was coming through the ropes. And now, what is this? Low-Ki going up to the top rope. Raining down a stomp on the lower back of Bryan Danielson. Low-Ki a desperation attack, but a very, very effective attack as he just stomped the life out of Bryan Danielson, only getting a 2 count.
Sending that middle rope, which is basically an elevator cable, there deep into the midsection of Danielson, not to mention the impact on the tailbone and lower back. And Kino just measuring him up.
Got him squared up for those kicks to the chest, to the lungs of Bryan Danielson. And Danielson, well known for his superb cardiovascular conditioning, but no amount of conditioning. Oh, Low-Ki with the roundhouse kick to the side of the head of Danielson, and Danielson just slumps over, and Low-Ki down to the mat, trying to catch his breath after all those desperation maneuvers. This is the first break that he's had, the first opportunity that he's had, but he's very quick to capitalize on that hard roundhouse kick. 1, 2 count only as Danielson able to kick out. Low-Ki may have taken a second too long.
I think he wasn't quick enough to capitalize there. He was dazed and collapsed there. Maybe he could have got on him right there. This match would be over, but it's not.
With the body slam on Bryan Danielson sets him down. Sometimes the simplest attack is the most effective, and that's exactly what Low-Ki found out, or what Low-Ki, his strategy there is. And so now Low-Ki up to the top rope.
High rent district. Haven't seen this in a while.
Mariposa like attack, but I believe he missed, and Bryan Danielson pulls him into a triangle choke, and now we see Bryan Danielson trying to put the lights out. I believe Low-Ki went for the Phoenix Splash there, but he may have slipped, may have been too tired, may have been too hurt from Bryan Danielson to get a full rotation. So instead, he just crashed down hard, and Danielson now pulling Low-Ki into the triangle choke, and you can see Low-Ki's free arm is the furthest away from the ropes. Danielson is pulling so Low-Ki's feet are far away from the ropes, and now Bryce Remsburg lifting up the arm of Low-Ki as the life of the challenger is being choked out of him. Danielson, very nearly had the
right with the elbows though.
The point of the elbows to the top of Low-Ki's head. Instead of trying to choke him out, he's trying to knock him out. But Low-Ki bridges over. 1, 2 count only as Danielson kicks out. I believe that was the only thing Low-Ki could have done, and it was a sound strategy. Very nearly caught the champion off guard, and very nearly won the championship.
Absolutely, he had all Danielson's arms and legs tied up there. Very smart, knowing where he's at by Low-Ki. But now Danielson going right back, maybe for that chicken wing, which could go to that cattle mutilation.
And he could be going for those brutal elbows to the side of the head that we've seen him use before in the past. Dragon suplex. 1, 2 count as Low-Ki kicks out. And now Danielson, he's got the arms hooked. He's going for it. The cattle mutilation. Low-Ki flips it. 1, 2. Almost a 3 count. Low-Ki again countering the submission hold of the PWG World Champion. And now Danielson, he's got Low-Ki all trapped. And there we see those brutal elbows. He used it to defeat Necro Butcher. And now he's using it on Low-Ki. It is at the discretion of the referee at this point. Does this continue? Does Bryce Remsburg allow this brutal attack to continue? No. Puts him down to the mat. Only a 2 count.
He had spacey eyes there. I wasn't sure what to do, but luckily put him over into a pinfall and made the decision for me. But Key showing that he was still with it, kicking out at about 2 9/10, but still on his butt, on his back. Danielson working him up to a vertical base. Not sure what he's got in mind here.
Going for the cross-face chicken wing, and there we see the elbows in the corner as Low-Ki is trying to use the ropes to break out of it. But now Danielson picks him up to the top rope. He's on he's
all the way.
Yeah, he's way up high in the air, and Bryan Danielson could be going for that back suplex we've seen him use on many an occasion before. He's got Low-Ki up. Low-Ki, you can see, just clutching onto that turnbuckle, that link that connects the post close to the ropes, and he's doing everything in his power to prevent Bryan Danielson from hitting that back suplex and just punching the head and face of Bryan Danielson. And now I believe was he biting him?
I think he might have been, actually.
He's biting Bryan Danielson on the forehead or on the nose. He's biting him somewhere to prevent him. But Bryan Danielson,
he's got his foot trapped, actually. Danielson, even in this state he doesn't want to be in, was able to trap Key's foot, and now Key has to pound. There he's freed his foot, and I think we know what comes next.
Low-Key extricating himself after pounding on the stomps to the chest of Bryan Danielson. Low-Key coming down like a ton of bricks on the PWG World Champion, and now Bryan Danielson is in a very, very bad situation. 2 count only. Is Danielson able to kick out? Low-Key picks him up. He's got him in. Key Crusher. Key Crusher. 1, 2. 2 count as Bryan Danielson kicks out of the Key Crusher. And now Low-Key, he's got him in the Dragon Sleeper. He's cranking back. Bryan Danielson is in the center of the ring as Low-Key cranks back with that Dragon Sleeper. He is just punishing the elbows. Elbows from Low-Key returning in kind. The story of this match. And Low-Key sitting back, taking a deep seat. Bryan Danielson not ready to... Bryan Danielson submits. He gives up, and Bryce Remsburg. What an incredible feat by Low-Key.
And what a way to become the PWG World Champion, defeating the best in the world. And what a title reign in store for Low-Key.
Here in the opening contest of PWG's All-Star Weekend 6.